Hi, this is Magda from the Interiors Exteriors channel.
This time, I'll take you to a 60 square meter apartment where old furniture has been combined with new in a way that lets you enjoy beautiful decorations and achieve maximum functionality. As usual, we start at the entrance. And here in the hallway, there was originally supposed to be custom-built furniture to make the most of the space and at the same time cover the utility boxes left here by the developer. However, they decided on this old wardrobe, which looks beautiful and definitely brings more character to the interior.
Take a look inside to see how it has been arranged.
There's plenty of space here for jackets and coats, as well as 2 shelves, with the lower one being height adjustable. We can install it higher or lower, just as we need. It's a really nice system. Of course, a wardrobe like this doesn't give us as many options as custom-built furniture tailored to us. Additionally, it's not as fully functional as new furniture. Look, down here there's a lot of space that's a bit hard to access because of this threshold. And at the top we can't put anything tall, even though the wardrobe itself is tall, because of this part. However, despite these minor inconveniences, the wardrobe is definitely functional and works well for everyday use. The tiles in the bathroom and hallway are almost twice as thick as the vinyl panels laid in the rest of the apartment. That's why, after laying the tiles here, an additional screed was made to even out the difference. So after installing the panels, the floor is perfectly level and there is no threshold here. Also notice that even though the door opens inward into the room, the hallway floor was not laid inside with the door. And this is not a mistake. These are doors with a reversed rebate, so even though they open inward from the hallway side, they are flush with the wall, just like the bathroom door, which opens outward. This is a really great method worth knowing, especially when the contractor lays the floor not exactly the way you want it, and instead of changing the floor layout or the door opening direction, which might interfere with your interior design, you can simply use this reversed rebate solution and save the situation. Pay attention to how the vinyl floor has been laid. The individual panels are at right angles to each other, both in the office and in the living room and kitchen. However, in the office, they are also at right angles to the walls, so it was very easy to lay the floor there. In the living room and kitchen, the effect is completely different only because the entire layout was done at an angle to the walls. And it also required much more work because, as you can see, the panels had to be cut everywhere along the edges. The living room with the kitchenette is a corner room, so we have windows on 2 sides, and a lot of light comes into the interior. And you can see that here in the living room, new furniture has been combined with old pieces, heirlooms from grandparents with furniture bought on auction sites and in secondhand stores. This beautiful old Art Deco display cabinet was bought online and then transported to another city for renovation. On the other hand, this armchair from her grandmother was recently restored, but the owner didn't like the suggested upholstery finish, so she decided to do it herself and is currently in the process of making this trim. The owners bought their previous sofa online and later really regretted that choice, so this time they tested it thoroughly before buying. And even though this is a non-folding sofa, when you remove the cushions, there's plenty of space, and it's so comfortable that you can sleep well on it too. This bar cabinet has been in the family for 3 generations, only this time it's displayed a little differently. It's no longer standing on a piece of furniture, but has been hung on metal brackets. In various places, you can spot paintings and drawings created by the owner of this apartment. The paintings have dates, 2001 and 2005 on the painting displayed on the cabinet. The balcony railing has been covered, and on this side a taller structure has been placed, overgrown with climbing plants, creating a green wall. Thanks to this, when relaxing on the balcony, we can practically forget that we're in the city, and even when sitting on the sofa, we see greenery outside the window and can enjoy it while resting. This willow is beautifully pink in spring and early summer, and this variety is small and low maintenance, so it will work great on balconies as well. In the kitchen area, there's a round table, although it might not look like it now because it's unfolded. 2 additional tabletops have been added here, so now it has a more oval shape than round, but round is its default shape. And there are 4 chairs at the table, 2 of which have armrests. And notice that you can't fully push them under the table, like you can with the chairs without armrests. Keep this in mind when designing your dining rooms, especially if you don't have much space. The kitchen is modular cabinetry. The cabinets are from IKEA, the fronts are from New Front, and the handles are from OPA Interiors. The stone countertop deserves special attention, and since stone countertops often have a long waiting time, the owners of this apartment decided to order it even before receiving the keys. And look how nicely the stonemason matched the individual slabs, creating a mirror image so that the pattern flows beautifully and continues seamlessly. What's more, we have not only a stone countertop in the kitchen, but the same material was also chosen for the windowsills. Let's take a look now at how the cabinets have been organized inside. Here in the first one we have household appliances, a mixer, a toaster. We don't use them, so there's no need for them to be out on display. Here further on there's a hidden range hood with magnets hanging on it. They don't have to be on the fridge, they can be on the range hood. And this is a trick I picked up from one of our videos, so I'm really pleased. Here, further in the cabinet, we have a solution that I've also shown you before, which is insertable shelves. They give us direct access to different things, they don't stand on top of each other, and it's easier to reach for them. And there's a similar solution here at the end, a hanging basket, which also lets you use the space at the top of the shelf. In the lower cabinetry, there's of course a drawer for cutlery, and next to it there's also a hidden drawer. Below that there are plates, and at the very bottom pots, and on the rack lids, so we can grab any of them and the others don't fall over, which makes it very convenient. Next we have the oven with a drawer underneath it as well, and here we have a deeper drawer with a hidden drawer inside, and here are spices in 2 different types of jars. That's simply because those are no longer sold. However, here's an organizer with these little sticks. You twist them to take them out. I think I attached it more tightly now. These little sticks allow you to subtly organize the space in the drawer so that things don't move around, don't get mixed up, and you can keep everything tidier. Here in the middle, a less frequently used container for smaller items was also used, and that's a great idea too. Similarly, in the lower drawer, you can see that there are also 3 containers that organize the items stored here, and the cutting boards have been placed separately as well. They are placed vertically so we can easily reach for each one, and at the same time, they are not in plain sight. Here we have a dishwasher, a utility drawer, and drawers with bins that open with a kick. And here at the end, there are wide drawers that serve as a pantry. And although there is a storage room right behind the wall, which was originally supposed to serve that purpose, since there is space in the drawers, it's much more convenient to store food products here, so they're right at hand. This cooktop was chosen because of the way the burners are turned on. See, after turning it on, I just use one button to set how strong each burner should be. And when I want to turn on another one, I just press by another and another and another, and I don't have to switch between burners or click through all the power levels. It's much faster and more convenient. What makes this fridge freezer stand out? Definitely the drawers in the freezer. Look at this clever solution. Definitely more convenient than when the drawers are hidden behind the front panel. But this refrigerator has something else. Look, it's built into the wall. How is that possible? It's simply because there's a storage room on the other side where the refrigerator actually stands, and only an opening was made in the wall so you can access it. Many things have been hung up in the storage room. The dryer, vacuum cleaner, and mop, it's hanging on a magnet. I've never seen this before, and it seems very convenient. And the things that are hung up don't take up space on the floor. Each one has its own place, they don't fall over. This is really a great way to keep things organized in a utility room like this. And drawers are also very important because even though we often associate storage spaces with big shelves and boxes, the truth is that we often store smaller items too. And here, for example, we have a drawer for various vacuum and steamer attachments. The bedroom is a central room in the apartment to minimize the risk of evening noise from the neighbors. And here, on both sides of the bed, there are retro nightstands, which, in addition to plants and books, also hold stuffed animals, the owner's favorite childhood toys. On this wall, there's a large wardrobe practically stretching from wall to wall, although it's not actually custom built. It's the Plaza system, and although IKEA is usually associated with PAX wardrobes, the Plaza system can also work really well. It's a bit shallower, but the difference is only about 2 centimeters. And in return, it offers features like drawers that are immediately accessible, not just hidden behind the front. And look at how the space has been organized inside here. Here we have a clothes hanger, and underneath there's a drawer in the form of a basket. Higher up, there are smaller cabinets with shelves, and here as well, inside, the shoes are neatly arranged in boxes, and here there's also a tall wardrobe with a hanger for longer dresses. Also, notice how closely the front passes by the baseboard. If the baseboard were thicker, there might have been a collision here, but the owners took this into account earlier and chose it in such a way that everything fits together perfectly. In the study, there's of course a workspace, a sofa where you can relax or let guests stay overnight, and plenty of storage space. And here I'd also like to show you the contents of the cabinets, because down here we have board games and above books. And I often come across comments that if you can't see books in the apartment, it means there aren't any. And as you can see, that's not true. Books don't have to be on display, they can be kept in a cabinet. This wardrobe is still part of the office area. Inside there are binders and a printer. A hole was cut in the body of the furniture so that it could be connected to electricity. But here in the drawers there are already tools. Various screwdrivers, pliers, and everything is beautifully organized in separate containers. Below we already have bigger tools, and the largest ones are here in the cabinet. They are arranged in their cases because even though it will soon be 2 years since we moved in, there is always something to do in the apartment, and it's worth having tools on hand. The wallpaper was applied only up to a certain height, and its border was highlighted with a black decorative molding, which also runs here, along this wall, all the way to the black curtain rod. The bathroom is minimalist, with white dominating here. White tiles were laid on the wall up to this height. What catches the eye here is the gold fixtures, and above all, the patterned floor. Here we have black and white corset tiles, although their white is a bit off-white. Above the alcove with the washing machine, cabinetry was installed, and these drawers serve as laundry baskets for dirty clothes. There are 2 of them, so you can immediately separate dark and light colors, and above them are shelves that can hold various things, from household chemicals to cosmetics, which are stored in little containers. So when you want to use them more often, you can move them closer. I often show you different drawer organizers, and here we have an example of an organizer built into the drawer. The downside is that it's harder to make any changes in the future, but it's definitely an interesting option. This apartment was furnished at the turn of 2021 and 2022, and you're probably curious about how much it cost to finish it. Let me tell you, the kitchen furnishings without appliances cost about 20,000 zloty, and the bathroom furnishings about 13,500 zloty, and the remaining costs, labor, floors, doors, are about 54,000. Altogether, without household appliances, it came to about 90,000, and with appliances, about 100,000. If you're curious about other beautiful interiors, be sure to check out the other videos on our channel. We already have over 100 presentations of various apartments and houses. I also highly recommend our book Polish Interiors, where you'll find plenty of tips and inspiration. Now it's time to say goodbye. I look forward to your likes and comments. I encourage you to subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.